Starting dinner. It's a fall, rainy, dreary night. And I'm making, this doesn't really have a name. It's kind of like a marsala. I'm using pork loin, but it's kind of my version, and it's super easy. So I've got, this is what I'm using. These Smithfield pork loins in the garlic flavor. Garlic is really key in this recipe. So I've got them. I use 2 pork loins, and you see they're kind of chunky, like that size chunks. In my pan, I have garlic and butter. So garlic, and I love Irish butter. I love good butter. Just good butter is really good. So I'm gonna let this saute around, and then I'm gonna add my pork onto the butter and the garlic and kind of brown each side and cook it to probably medium. So let them, you don't want it completely done, but for the most part done. Then turn your stove. This could be done in the Instant Pot too if you're an Instant Potter. I don't know all the tricks of it, but anyway, so then you want to turn your stove down once your pork chops are, or pork loin chunks are to about medium. You turn it down to let them just kind of simmer. Then I'm gonna add a can of beef consomme and a can of cream of mushroom soup. And I'm probably gonna double that since I doubled the pork. So I've got 2 cream of mushrooms and 2 beef consommes. Once my pork gets medium and it's all browned and buttery, I'll pour all of that soup on top, add some black pepper, and just put a lid on it and let it simmer. And then probably about 30 minutes before we eat, I'm gonna add 2 bags of spinach to the top. The spinach will wilt down, and then I'm serving that over egg noodles. That's what's for dinner. So I'll try to show you as I go, but it's that simple. It's a matter of browning the pork in with your butter and your garlic. After it's browned and cooked pretty good, medium well, add the canned soup. Again, I'm doubling this, so I'm doing 2 of each. Black pepper, and then let it just simmer and cook and get yummy, and that juice will all go together. Then add the 2 bags of spinach, and they're like this is in the Costco bag. These are the 2 bags from the grocery store. That's it. So here we go. Look how good this looks. If you could smell this right now, you would die. I love garlic. Oh my gosh. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so my butter's all melty, and I've got my pork ready to just place in here. And I forgot to tell you a main ingredient. A cup of white wine. I'm using Chardonnay that I have. You can use non-alcoholic if you don't want to do the real one. The alcohol cooks out of the wine, so that's not a big thing. But you do add a cup of white wine, which I'll actually use just one of my empty soup cans. I'll fill it up with wine and put it in there. Okay, so look how beautiful this is getting already. Pork cooks really fast, especially these loins. Pork things, it's like chicken. They cook super fast. So there we go. Okay, we're gonna brown, and then I'll add all my stuff. Okay, so that was easy. Browned it took me just a few minutes, honestly, just very few minutes. And I added my soups and in the wine. I have not added my pepper yet, though. That's the only, and that's, you don't have to add pepper. We like pepper. I really like black pepper. We really, really do. I would even put red pepper in this, but my daughter will not eat anything spicy. And honestly, if I wasn't making this for my family, because my boys, my husband and my son, they do not eat mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I may saute some on the side for Molly and myself. But a bunch of mushrooms in here, whatever mushrooms you like, just dump them in and let them simmer down with your pork. So I've cut this down to low now, or turned it to low, and it's just gonna simmer for, I don't know, the next couple hours, because it's a bit early. Yeah, and so the pork will just totally tenderize, and then I'm gonna dump all that spinach on top, which will wilt down in there. And then, like I said, serve it on egg noodles. You can serve it with mashed potatoes. It's really great. You can even put it over rice. But the sauce is like super garlicky, super savory. It's really good. See, we're starting to bubble. It makes your house smell amazing. You can do this in a crock pot too. So you just have to brown your pork first, and then you can transfer it to a crock pot and let it sit throughout the day. You don't want to overcook it, because you don't want it like shredded pork. You want it to be kind of chunky. Like, these chunks will fall apart a little bit. You just want them really tender, where you don't necessarily have to have a knife to eat it, but you want, you know what I mean, like a chunk, not a shred. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna clean up my mess here and let my pork simmer. Again, it's a can of cream of mushroom. So I'm sneaking mushrooms in there. They'll never know, because theirs are tiny. And if it were me doing it for other people, I would add a ton of mushrooms to this. You could even add onion if you want. I even think it would be good to do, which I've done this before, instead of the spinach, add sweet peas, like frozen sweet peas. Drain them so you don't get any more water in the sauce. But just sweet peas with the pork in this garlic sauce would be really, really good. That over mashed potatoes would be delicious. You could even add carrots. You can get creative. But that's my sauce. Beef consomme, cream of mushroom, butter, garlic, pepper, just however much pepper you like. It's full of flavor, so you don't need. And I'm using Chardonnay. I would probably prefer, and don't use a sweet wine. Use a dry white wine. Okay, I'll take a picture when it's all done. The only thing I have to do now is put the spinach on top and let it just wilt in there. Healthy, good. It's buttery, but butter's okay. It's not bad for you.